When push comes to shove, who is the one person that will always be there for you? The answer is you. As we work on building our own external support systems, it is extremely important that we remember to offer internal support for ourselves too. You deserve to feel supported, not just by others, but by yourself too. Welcome to Normalize the Conversation. I'm your host, Francesca Reiketer, and today I'm joined by activist and best-selling author Tejaswini Divya Naik. Join us as Tejaswini catches us up on where she is now and how she has learned to support herself through her mental health journey. Tejaswini, thank you so much for joining me today. I am really excited to catch up with you. It's been like a year, maybe even more, since the last time you were on this podcast. I know I had so much fun talking with you and hearing all about your life and your book and what you were doing. And now you have another book out, you're writing another one. So I'm really excited to catch up. But before we do that, I just really want to check in with you. How are you really?
I am at a place. How do I really put it? I was just having a conversation with my best friend today, and she asked me, "How are you doing?" And the best possible way I think I can answer your question as well is like what I answered her question is I am okay, but I'm not. I don't really know what kind of a state I am in. I am trying really hard to work on myself at this moment in life. But at the same time, I don't know where it puts me emotionally and mentally. But whatever it is, I'm going along with it and I am pushing myself to only think positive and happy. Because somewhere I do remember I read somewhere that there are synapses in your brain system. But the more you think happy, the something along those lines that they catch on to those emotions and you will actually keep having more happier thoughts. I will probably just do a quick research and get back to you on that. I don't want to sound like a fool when I say something so important, but there's like this whole system. So more happy thoughts you have, you are just basically creating a base for your future self to think more on a positive and happy note. So that's what I think I'm doing.
I love that honesty and vulnerability, and I definitely resonate with that, right? I think it's so easy to sit here and pretend like life's great. I'm getting through it so easily. Like there's so much going on behind closed doors that people don't get to see, that's not shown on social media. I know I try to like share a lot, but there's so much that I don't, and I feel like some days I'm just barely hanging on, and I'm trying to find those small ways to like shift my thoughts and reframe them. So I love what you said about the happy thoughts, because I know for a while I was writing like what I needed to hear that morning, like on my mirror. And then I was putting sticky notes. My wall had sticky notes last week. Now I made this like motivation board, and it's like the good things that are happening and nice messages people are saying. Like I'm constantly trying to find ways to bring that happiness into my brain, because it's so easy, for me at least, to like get stuck in those dark thoughts, to get stuck in like the heaviness of what's happening, to feel like I'm not okay, and to want to sit in it. So I'm definitely going to start focusing more and more on that like shift to happier thoughts.
That is absolutely. I mean, this is exactly what I've been trying to work on, because, like you said, even for me, it's so easy to just quickly shift into the whole darkness of it all and just let myself be in that corner, because it's become such a comfortable corner because of all of the things, like how you said, it's been a year since I've been on your show, and I'm just quickly bringing up this extremely happy thing that I'm so glad to be back on your show and to be talking to you. And it's been a year already. And all the things we spoke about, remember? About things that you go through, and that mental health can be affected by any and everything. And even the slightest, smallest thing, which nobody can even imagine, can become a trigger. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it just becomes so easy to just go back into that shell and just want to hide away from the entire world, because that has become such a comfortable soft spot that you're just like sitting there. You've made yourself a tent with a blanket, and you're just it's like an ostrich head, you just put your head inside and you think you're hiding from the world, but in fact, you are in full force out there and everybody can see what is happening. But people, for some reason, don't reach out to you and it just makes you feel more bad about it. So then, why not be the person you want people to be for you? So be that person for your own self.
Yes,
And
I love that.
keep implementing, keep pushing all those happy, positive thoughts and small, small notes for your own self. And that is why I love going through your story, because these days I've been missing your mirror posts.
I need to do them
But
again.
every single day, I would just love to go through them, because that one positive note is just like, I know Fran is talking to me. It's like literally I can hear it in your voice and you're telling me that particular thing. And so I think you can see that board behind me, right? So
Yeah.
every day I write happy notes for myself. And there's one note which one of my really close friends left for me. Her name is Sakshi. She left me a note saying, "We love you." So whatever I write, I always write around it. And whenever I'm feeling a little sad or upset, I always come back to look at this note which says, "We love you." And I know that I have people, even though they might not be around me at all times, and they might not be available at all times, but I have people. And for the people who aren't there, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Don't feel bad. They have their life. They have more important things to do in their life. And if you're trying to reach out to them and they don't answer, they just could be busy, they could be sleeping, they could be doing whatever. So instead of having negative thoughts about it, always just put it in a perspective that they are just busy, and be that person for yourself. On this note, just remind me a little, I think a while after, like, I have a little something that I would like to share with you, which was a little life altering moment for me. Something very important and something very big happened. It's been happening since a while now. And one after the other, the hits just keep coming. The hits just keep coming. And I'm wading through deep waters, but I know I will get it.
It can feel so isolating, especially when people aren't reaching out when you need them to. But also, like, how do people know you're struggling that day if you don't reach out to them and let them know, right? So it's like kind of the double-edged sword. And it can feel very isolating. I know for me, one thing I started to do was I actually message my friends when I'm like in a good mood. I'm like, why do you love me? Or like, if I was sad, what would you say to me? And then like I just have images of all those like messages that they sent me. So then when I'm feeling upset and I feel like no one loves me, or I feel like I'm alone, or I'm just not okay, I have these messages from them in my phone already there, because sometimes I just don't want to like reach out. Sometimes I just don't want to say to the same person over and over again that I'm not okay. Like it starts to feel, I mean, I love to talk about my mental health and I'm try to be very honest, but sometimes I just feel like I'm so repetitive and redundant. I'm like, do they want to hear every single day that I'm not okay? Like, do I need to have the same conversation every day? Or I have the message from them that encourages me, that makes me smile, that's going to get me through the day. How can I use that? So I try to find ways to make myself feel more comfortable in it, because I hate admitting like that I'm not okay 10 days in a row. Like it is hard. It's hard when you think I've come so far and I've done so much. How am I not okay today? How is this happening again? How do I feel this way? It just becomes so overwhelming to me. So finding ways to like support myself and be that person for myself, or have my friends be there for me without having to even do anything, really helps me through those moments.
I literally felt every single word that you just said right now. And I think all of us should do this, as, like it's a bare minimum that we should all reach out to our friends and we should tell them that, why do you love me? Just have those messages for, safekeeping, and just have them in your phone, and or just print them out, just, or just let them be in the messages. You can always go back and read that message. It would feel like that person just texted.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, we should not, I'm not invalidating anything that you said. I would never do that.
Oh, no.
At the same time, I think we should try and learn to be a little more self-reliant and not be so dependent, or like, feel dependent on other people. Understand, as humans, we want that soft touch, that little warm voice, that hug, or like, just someone being there for you. it feels incredible to have that. But what when you don't have any of it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Even if
absolutely.
you have like those messages there, sometimes you just need that person, some person to hold you and just like let you cry it out or let you just scream your lungs out. And what when that is not there, what do you do? So it just becomes so much more difficult. Sometimes those messages, those love messages that your friends have sent you or your family has sent you could become the trigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because when you're not talking to them every day, when you're not hearing from them, it does become like kind of like a thought in your head, ruminating thoughts. But I love what you said about not depending on other people, because as humans, we do need connection and we need other people, and absolutely. But when we're validating ourselves through other people, that becomes really difficult because we can't control other people. We can't control what someone thinks, how they behave, when they reach out, when they don't, what they're going to say. We can't control any of that, whether or not they're going to like our Instagram post. So when we're seeking validation from other people to exist, it becomes very difficult because it's all outside of your control. So finding ways that you can regain that self-love and self-compassion and show up for yourself, even if it's as small as acknowledging the fact that you got out of bed, right? Just acknowledging that you did something or writing a little sticky note or something.
Seriously, I'm so glad you brought that one small little point up. Like getting out of bed sometime in the morning feels like such a win, right? Feels like such a great win because I mean, for a person like me, you never know when an anxiety attack or a panic attack comes through. And I could just be sitting and watching something on Netflix or listening to some music or driving in my car, and suddenly out of nowhere, something will strike through and I would start crying and I don't even know what. And it is just so annoying. It is so annoying. But it's just like you don't know what's the trigger. What do you do then? And as an empath, I mean, I'm sure you would understand this. You would reach out for your phone, you would want to reach out to a friend, but at the same time, there will be these multiple thoughts running through your head. What if my friend is sleeping or busy or going through a hard time themselves? Are they emotionally available for me right now? What do you do in those circles? So, it becomes so important. People talk about having self-love and being resilient and being self-aware, and all of these things are so important. But at the same time, how do you manage through such a situation? Even though you do love yourself so hard and so much, it's not going to stop you from having the meltdowns, the breakdown. But what does happen in that moment is that since you are a person who loves herself so much, so bad, and is so self-aware, you can probably just pinpoint out your own triggers, or at least ways, if you don't know or understand your triggers, at least ways how to calm yourself down. But in the same breath, I would also put this out there, because as someone who's just recently dealt with this on a major level, and a lot of my people don't, a lot of actually only two people are aware of it. So probably I don't know, we could have this in the conversation. I could just mull over this and then get back to you if we should put this part or not, or if we should edit this out. But there was this recently last Tuesday, I think. I had a beautiful, brilliant day. And I was just like, I finished the day off in the karaoke bar and I was singing my heart out. And I'm driving back home in my car. And out of nowhere, Fran, I just fucking broke down. And I could not stop crying. And I'm just crying. And all these things are just like pushing past me. And like, I'm just crying and I'm driving. And I know it's unsafe. And I know like I can't see shit on the road because I'm crying that bad. And I know I should just call someone. But my brain is telling me that everybody is, nobody's available for you. Nobody wants to hear from you. Everybody's tired of your bullshit. Everybody's tired of you continuously crying every single time. Everybody's tired of you talking about how your ex-boyfriend hurt you, how he left you all alone, and this and that, and all of that. So the things I was telling you, the hits just keep coming. And just not even 2 weeks before that, I had again come back home from the karaoke bar, because Tuesdays is when I go to karaoke usually,
Love that.
if I am free. And I came back and I'm happy and everything's good. And then I take a bath and I'm going to sleep. And then my entire body bursts out into hives. My entire body. This is okay. So this story you can definitely put on your podcast, because this is something that people should know about. Guess what? I am allergic to
Is it water?
water.
How?
Oh, if there are any scientists out there who will like to try and figure my body out, my skin type out, please do that, because I'm allergic to water, the most basic thing. And it's not even cold water, it's not even warm water, it's not even a particular type of water from a particular city. It's water every time, everywhere. So I have this particular system that I put in place when I go to bathe. It's hilarious. Sometimes even if that doesn't work out, I have to take an anti-allergic.
Your body is 70% water, first of all. So I'm so confused. But that has to be really stressful. You're coming home to relax and just take a bath. And your body's like, just kidding.
Don't be about it. My friends make fun of me. They're like, yuck, you're dirty, you don't bathe. And I'm like, I bathe. I do bathe. It's not that I don't bathe. But it just, that night was scary. So I just laid down and I took Electra, which is the anti-alert I usually take. And I'm just lying there. The AC is on full blast. The fan is on full speed. And I'm just trying to, but I can start to feel a burning coming from within my body. And I can start feeling hives erupting over my body. And I'm like, okay, it'll go. Because the, anti-allergic usually takes about 20 minutes to half an hour to kick in place. But it's not happening. It's just not happening. And then the worst thing starts happening. I can start feeling it on my face. I can start feeling it under my head, on my scalp. And I'm just scratching, and I'm just I should not do it, but I cannot help but scratch myself, and the face starts burning. And then, friend, my tongue starts to burn, and my throat, inside my throat starts to burn, and it's becoming constricted, and I rush, and I get an ice pack, and I put it on my face that, the burn will go down. It's so bad, but it doesn't. And then a thought comes to my head. I think I should go to the hospital now. This thought came twice before, but I did not act on it because I thought like usual it will go away, but it did not. It just did not. And I'm like, oh shit, I am not dying tonight. Nowhere in hell. And the best thing is, because these days, except for my parents, my sister, I don't have any particular person to speak to, right? And I don't have any calls coming, text coming, or whatever. So I don't care about my phone being charged or not. And I just come back home. I thought I'd take a bath, I put my phone on charge, then I'll sleep. So my phone's at 3%. So from the time I run out from my room, and I left the phone here in this room, and my room's inside. So at that point, it felt like a whole ass fucking distance, like a football field. Because I am in between scratching myself and not trying to scratch myself and trying to breathe because my throat's constricting up. Everything's constricting. And I get up to get my phone. I see myself in the mirror. I cannot explain to you how my face had become. It was like sandpaper, but just like the sandpaper is being rubbed against a knife and a stone. And it's like hard, like I can't even think. I'm laughing right now, but I could not breathe at that point. And I ran and get my phone, and I have forgotten that I switched off my Wi-Fi before leaving. So I switch off my Wi-Fi, and I'm panicking, and I'm telling myself, don't panic. And I switch on the Wi-Fi. It takes a minute for it to get switched on, and then first thing I do is go into Uber and book myself a rickshaw. That's a 3-wheeler ride in India, rickshaw, and that is like, thankfully, you know how Uber usually, I don't know if that happens with you guys there, but here, like Uber will at least cancel on you twice or thrice before the final ride getting accepted.
Oh, that happens to me anytime I'm in LA. I don't know why. It's so frustrating.
And thankfully that night, the Uber just accepted it. And I grab a bag and I put all my essentials in it, and I'm rushing out the door. And suddenly I feel yukish as fuck because I realized that I had had about a couple beers and I had not had anything to eat and I just popped the anti-allergic. I can see the disbelief on your face and it's just like, oh my god.
I feel so like
So,
stressed for you in that moment. But are you doing okay since then? Like,
I'm doing much better, but like yeah, there has been small ass incidents, but I have aloe vera, I have baby oil, I have anti-allergic.
I
But
mean,
I literally get into the rickshaw and the hospital is just like 2 minutes away.
oh, thank
So till I reach the hospital, I'm puking my guts out in the moving rickshaw all over myself. And I somehow crawl into the hospital, literally, and the guards there are stopping me, and they're like, "Where's the patient?" I'm like, "I'm the patient. Let me go. I can't breathe." And I get in, and I'm like, yeah, literally out of a movie scene, okay? And I'm like, "Help me, please, somebody help!" And they all rush me to the first bed they can find, and I'm like, "Can't breathe, can't stop itching." And they put me on an IV, and oh my god. So they thought they would just put me on one medication and I would be out in under an hour or so. I was there the entire night up until morning.
wow.
And this is where the part comes in. I called his friends. Nobody was there. Nobody was available. Nobody answered my phone. Not even one of. So basically, I took myself to the hospital in such a situation. And then I got myself back with the IV on my hand in case this happens again. Because the doctors were just like, let's just keep the IV there
Yeah.
in case you do need to come back again. You never know, this might just erupt again because you never know with allergies. So I had to get myself back home. And that situation has made me so strong. From that day on, I just realized that nobody in this fucking world is going to be there for me but my own self.
Yeah.
That was literally a near death experience, if I could put it in those exact words. It was a near death experience. I could not breathe. And I had a thought that I am not dying tonight. I have never had that thought before. It was just so surreal, but so fucking real.
Yeah. I'm
You know what
so
I mean?
happy you're still here and that you were able to get to the hospital, get the treatment you needed, and now you have like plans in place so that way you're able to bathe without having this happen again and being in a life-threatening situation. But I also can't imagine like at least I'm assuming in the beginning, I don't know if it's something that you deal with every time like you're near water, you go to bathe, but I can imagine that that has to have a lot of anxiety, especially when you're prone to panic attacks. Like, am I going to be okay?
After that day, particularly, I was so afraid of just being near anything water, It was just so scary. And anyone making a joke also about me bathing or because of water, I had to go to the hospital and whatever. It's just so traumatic. But I've just learned to, work my brain in a particular way that how horses have blinds, like so I'm just trying to train my brain. Whatever people are saying just hits the blind and goes back from there, right? Do not let that come here, and whatever's coming here goes out that way. I'm just going to be focused on myself, and I don't fucking care who says what, who makes what jokes. And I mean, those people are welcome to their own toxic thoughts. It's just a projection of their own thoughts and insecurities and the person they are. It's not me. It's them, literally. So I'm not gonna let that affect me, even though it does become a little difficult sometimes because what people say can become traumatic. But I mean, even if you're a friend, you should not, make a joke or be this way about someone's allergies or insecurities or emotions or whatever it is. I'm not just talking about myself in this. But thankfully, when this other incident happened, I could not stop crying for 3 hours, man. I was circling the hospital for 1.5 hours, and then I called a friend. She's in Canada, and she immediately answered. And she's like, "Paige, what happened?" And I can't talk because I'm crying that bad. And she's like, and at least she understood that I'm outside the hospital. And she's like, "I just need you to go to the hospital. Take yourself to the hospital, right?" And again, the same hospital, same people. I entered the hospital, and in my head, I'm just thinking that what are they going to think? Oh my God, this girl back again. But then another thought pushed through it that they are doctors, they are first responders. They have to be there.
Yeah.
So I went there and I'm just like, I can't stop crying. Please make me stop crying. Just sedate me, give me anything. And I was in the hospital for about 5 hours. And I called another and he answered. And he's the sweetest, kindest person. And he came, took me home. Didn't let me go back home, didn't let me out of his sight the entire day. And he called another friend of his, of ours, a mutual friend. She came home and she cooked my favorite for us. He does not let anybody sit on his side of the bed. He let me sit on his side of the bed that day. Just left his entire TV and Netflix for me to watch whatever shit I wanted to. He sat outside his room in the hall the entire day and just kept checking on me if I'm okay or not. It was the sweetest thing ever. He's like one of my closest friends, more or less my best friend, and I kind of call him like my brother. So it was, and he did not let anybody know why I was in what happened, anything about that. It's just between me and him.
Oh, I'm so happy you had that support at that time, because it's so hard to go through it alone and to feel even more isolated and alone in a moment that feels very isolating. So to have someone who was there to provide you that support you needed is so incredible. I'm so happy and grateful that you had that support. But I also want to go back to what you said before, the first time being in the hospital and not having anyone show up, and how you realize that you're the only one who's always going to be there for you, because it's so true, right? There are times where we're going to have our friends who are able to be there and they're going to show up for us when they can. But like you said way early in the beginning, sometimes people are busy. They have their own things going on. They're sleeping. They can't answer the phone. And in those moments, it is really just us having to be there for ourselves. So to see that you got to experience both, that strength of doing it by yourself, for yourself, and getting through, and then that strength of having loved ones and a community around you to get you through, to see that you're able to have both and do both is beyond inspiring and incredible. And I am just so happy and grateful that you got the support that you needed both times.
Thank you so much. I mean, I could not speak right now because, just remembering both the incidents. I kind of, while you were talking, I think I kind of had an epiphany. It was just like, both incidents were placed so close to each other. I think it was just a moment in time for me to learn a very hard lesson and then soften the blow. It's just like you are the only person who has to be there. But sure, you will always have people who are going to be there. But just learn to do it for yourself. Because even the second time around, I took myself to the hospital. And honestly, all the incidents that I've been in the hospital of late in the past couple of years, I have actually had to take my own self to the hospital. So, it's just made me so much stronger. And the whole healing process about what we were talking about, it just sped up the whole process. And I started taking better care of my drinking more water, which is so important. Like, it's just a basic ass thing, but we don't realize how much our body needs that water.
Yeah. Cheers.
So, cheers. So, I mean, I've even downloaded a bloody app to track the water, because sometimes you are so busy with work.
It's so easy to forget.
It's so easy to forget. So, that app will always pop up with the sound of water falling, and it reminds you that you're supposed to have water. So, what's that? I'll tell you what's the app called. I'll tell you once we finish with it. And I started working out. I've started paying more attention to my own health. I have a trainer. She makes sure that I'm meditating every day. And she loves all the updates. So, she's like, did you have water? Did you walk so much? Did you work out today? Did you do your stretching? Meditation. Is it done? Not done. Journaling. Is it done? Not done. So it's just making my life like, working out a schedule and working as per the schedule. I actually have started realizing it's so important, because once your brain understands and learns the schedule and learns what you're doing this point of time, and then you're waking up, and it's actually making me happier. It's just like, just the blood rush and I don't exactly know how to put it in words, but it just makes me so much happier. Even if I'm walking and I'm tiring my body out and I'm sweating it out, like in the evening, I walked all the way to the beach.
I do that too.
High five!
Love that.
I just walked all the way to the beach and I just sat there, taking in all the breeze and all the waves. And I was listening to music, but then I cut out the music because I just really wanted to listen to the waves. And I have a book on my phone, which I was reading. And it was just such a peaceful, happy moment.
It is. And it's so important to find these moments and things you can do for yourself. I love tracking water. I need to start doing that. I've noticed that there may be some days where I drink a little more wine than water, and I should switch that ASAP. But it's so hard to remember to drink water during the day. But at night, when my grandma and her friend are pouring wine, it's so easy to remember to drink a glass of wine. So it's
Oh my
definitely
God, now you
important to be
reminded me
aware.
now I've got to have wine. What did you do, Fran? Now I have to have wine.
It's just
But-
like, it's important to be aware and mindful and to do small things to remind you to drink water. So like this morning, one of the first things I did was I put a glass of water next to my bed last night. So when I woke up, I drank a glass of water. Then when I went in the kitchen to make breakfast, I had a glass of water while I was cooking, and I had a glass of water after while I was cleaning it up. So just like finding small places to associate with drinking water, so that way I am hydrating my body, because when I'm dehydrated, first of all, my skin feels dry, and then I just don't feel great. And I'm tired, I'm more fatigued, I don't have the energy, I feel more sore. So then when I work out, I don't want to work out as much again because I'm so sore, because I'm not hydrated. So it's so important to drink your water, and to the point of like exercise and on a schedule. It's so great when you're able to make a schedule in whatever way works for you. For me, I do like 7 a.m. tennis lessons twice a week, and then the other days 8 a.m. ball machine or playing with someone else. But I keep the times consistent because that's how I wake up in the morning. My day starts with an activity that makes me feel good, that releases any frustration from the day before. So it's finding small things, like you said, that you can do for yourself that really, really make such a huge impact.
Definitely does. Like just a couple of days back, I was just on a shoot for a few days. And even though I'm going to work, like going to have a really, really busy day, I was making it a point that I'm waking up at least, like, so if I have to leave the house at say a.m., I'm making sure that I'm waking up at 4:15 a.m. and getting that water, getting a little meditation, getting a little morning stretches in, having just just a little me, my own kind of time. Sit down, have tea, listen to, like, do my prayers, and if I still have a little more time, read a book or something, or just like watch something, and then go to work. It's so difficult. It doesn't matter, even if I'm coming back, even if I was coming back home like really late in the night, because shoots get terribly busy, terribly exhausting, but also terribly late. There's no timing. So even if I'm coming back, like say at 11 or 12 in the night, and eating dinner and sleeping by say 1, I would still make it a point to wake up at 5. Like if I have to leave the next day at 7, then I wake up at 5. But it's so important taking out that me time and concentrating and focusing on yourself, because nobody else is going to do that for you.
No, absolutely not.
You have to do that for yourself, right? All inclusive. Okay, so I know this entire conversation has gone from one point to the other, and to like from A to G to Y to God knows where.
I love it.
Legend Y. I'm pretty sure somewhere in your head you're like, why? What is this conversation?
No, I love this. It is so authentic. It is so us. Like, we just kept going everywhere with it. And it's so amazing to see how everything connects back to how you're feeling and taking care of yourself. And like you said in the beginning, like one of the very first things you said was not depending on everyone else to take care of you, but to be able to show up for yourself and to be there for yourself. And everything that we have covered has come back and connected to that. So that's amazing thing that we accomplished, because we went everywhere and yet it still came back together.
Right? It's like,
right? Like we should deserve an award for that.
Yeah, like we didn't even like, oh my God. Now that I think about it, that's so perfect actually. How did we do that?
Because we were just
This is so
us.
fun. this is so much fun. It's just like two friends catching up after such a long time.
Yeah.
And yet, like, we do manage to get everything in there. Mostly I did because I'm the one talking more than you do. But yeah, we just like it started from one point. We did like the parts diverged out into various ways, but it just came back like a nice U-turn to the same road.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
It did. And as we are wrapping up, I really want to make sure you have time to tell us about that second book and maybe even give us a little like teaser of the third book that's to come.
My God. Okay, so only a very few set number of people know about the third book, and like now
Top secret.
Secret.
Okay, so cutting
But-
that out.
No, not at all. I think this is a great way to announce the third book. Just
There
by
you
the
go.
way. I think so. Yeah, the last year when we actually sat down for the first time, we spoke about my first book, Smokes and Whiskey, and we also spoke about the second book that I was writing at that point in time,
Yeah.
One for Sorrow, the name of my second book. And a few months down the line after that, I did publish my second book. And touch wood, it did so well, and it's still doing so well, and people have been loving it. You can get it on Amazon. You can actually reach out to me and personally, if you want, order it from me as well. And of course, in that you will get a signed copy. But I don't know exactly when, but a couple of weeks back, about I think bare minimum time period would be about a month back or so, max to max, is when I was just like, I've been thinking of starting my third book, because this time I was like, you know what, I'm not going to take that much time like I took with the second book. And I'm just going to put all of my thoughts in there, and I'm just going to put it out there. But at the same time, I'm a person who works with a little process in her mind. So till I do not get the cover image and the name of the book, and then the inside pages, how the index is going to look like, I cannot start working on the book. I am a little weird like that. But I think all creative people are, right?
Yeah, I feel like mine is a really weird process too. Like I go everywhere with it and I'm like, I don't even know how I finished, honestly. Like the first section of the book is probably the last thing I do, which makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, every single person I know, including you, have their own little process. And it's so important for them, because like a lot of people won't understand. They'll be like, it's just, you just have to come up with a name. What's about it? Or just like you just, have to figure out where the placements go. But it means a whole big deal to us, which people don't understand. And actually, honestly, they don't have to, because it's our thing. It's not their thing.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't make sense to them, it doesn't make sense to them. And then suddenly one day I was sifting through random names I had come up with, and it just struck me. The name of the book just struck me, and I was like, this is it. I found it. And it's so exciting because it just goes perfectly well with the cover image that I thought of. And my sister, my younger sister, is on the cover of the book.
Oh, I love that.
And it is such a powerful image, and it is such a powerful name. And when I did share it with a couple of people, like, just like I was telling you, number of people that know about it, one of them actually asked me, the first two books of yours, like I was telling them, this finishes probably, will finish the sister trilogy, because the first book, second book, now the third book, all in the same capacity, all black and white. All the names are three worded names. I mean, if I'm putting it right, like the first one is Smokes and Whiskey, 3 words. Second one is One for Sorrow, 3 words. And the third one, so I'm not going to say the name, beep, which I will be sharing with you on WhatsApp. I would love to know what you think about the cover and the name. And I was like, this is the sister trilogy. This finishes it. And so this person suddenly is like, okay, but I don't think it's related. And I'm like, how? And they're like, it's completely different from the first 2 books. The first 2 books have your women hidden, half their faces hidden, or like, a part of their body. Like in both books, book covers, their faces are hidden. And it's like, they're in the dark. So I was like, basically what the third book is going to be about is coming out of the dark.
Oh, I love that.
It's coming out of the dark. It's completely putting myself as I am out there in the open.
Oh, I'm so proud.
Thank you so much.
And that is like the perfect way to like wrap up this episode. So like, see, I think even from a year ago to like now, how far you've like come and you've grown and you've accomplished. It's just incredible. And I am so beyond grateful to know you, to be your friend, and to get to have conversations like this with you.
Same. I think first of all, thank you so much. And second of all, thank you so much, because without realizing, you've played a really big part in this as well. You do not realize this, Fran, but you don't know the amount of good you're doing. And even you as a person, like the first time I spoke with you, cut to now that I'm talking to you, you've grown so beautifully. And you've come such a long way. And I am proud of you, and I'm proud that I can call you, like I can call myself your friend. I'm so proud of the fact that I can call myself your friend, and I cannot wait for the day that we actually get to meet physically, because I know for a fact that I would not be able to stop hugging you and like be like, oh my God, I'm finally meeting this girl. You honestly are such an inspiration.
Thank you so much for listening to Normalize the Conversation. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. This podcast is an initiative of Inspiring My Generation, focusing on normalizing the conversation, bringing education and awareness to the forefront, and amplifying global voices to spark change and hope. Inspiring My Generation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization on a mission towards suicide prevention through awareness, conversation, education, and support. Connect with us on Instagram at Inspiring My Generation and visit our website inspiringmygeneration.org to learn more about our work and how you can make a difference.